fellas. Welcome back to Working on It, Real Talk for Modern Men. I am Anthony Ball. I want to tell you about a moment that cracked me open. I was running late because I was tweaking a presentation. Not because it wasn't good. It was solid, clear, useful. But I couldn't hit send because there was a sentence that fell off. And if I'd sent it like that, it would mean I'd failed. So I rewrote it again and again. By the time I finally hit send, I missed the deadline. And that resulted in me missing, and this was in university. This resulted in me getting a downgrade because it was a late submission. And honestly, that hit like a gut punch. I felt so sick because I wasn't trying to not do it, right? To not hand it in and do well. Because the course, I really enjoyed the course at university. But I was trying to be perfect. And in that moment, I realized my drive to everything right wasn't serving anyone. Not my team, not my family, not even me. It was running me. Now, before we go any further, let me be clear. This isn't an attack on high standards. I respect men who care deeply, who show up early, who finish strong, who refuse to cut corners. That kind of excellence, that's integrity, that's leadership, and that's masculinity at its best. But there's a thin line between I want this to matter and if this isn't flawless, I've failed. One comes from purpose, one comes from fear. And today, we're not here to kill the fire. We're here to reclaim it so it fuels you instead of burns you alive. Because perfectionism isn't weakness, it's warped. It's a warped form of care. And for men who've been told they must always have it together, letting go of perfection isn't failure, it's freedom. So let's get into it. So the lie that shaped me. I used to believe if I didn't do everything perfectly, I was failing at work, as a dad, in my body. Miss a workout, failure. Snap at my kid, proof I wasn't strong enough. Make a mistake in a meeting, fraud. I wore having it together like armor, but inside, I was exhausted, anxious, alone. And the worst part, I thought this pressure was strength. Like if I'd just pushed harder, longer, tighter, eventually I'd earn peace, respect, and love. But it never came because perfectionism doesn't reward you, it punishes you for being human. And the truth most men don't realize perfectionism isn't about excellence, it's about control, shame, and the fear of being seen as weak. It's the voice that says, I'm not perfect, I'm not enough. And for men, especially those raised to be man up, suck it up, be the rock, that voice becomes law. So here's what we'll explore today. Why men are especially vulnerable to perfectionism. How it masquerades as strength, but kills connection. The hidden cost, burnout, isolation, emotional disconnection, where it really comes from, and why it made sense once. How to honor the fire behind the flawlessness, and how to let go, not by collapsing into apathy, but by stepping into real maturity. This isn't about lowering your standards. It's about freeing yourself from the tyranny of never enough. So why men get trapped in perfectionism? Let's name the unspoken rules most of us absorb growing up. The first one, show no weakness. So we overperform to prove we're okay. Admit a mistake feels like surrender. The second one, provide, protect, perfect. Fatherhood becomes a checklist. Perfect provider, perfect disciplinarian, perfect role model. No room for struggle, no margin for error. This is the third one. The number 3, you're only as valuable as what you produce, tied to capitalism, hustle culture, and old school masculinity. If you're not winning, you're failing. The fourth one, fix it fast, don't feel it. We apply problem solving to emotions. Just do better instead of asking, what am I afraid of? And the result, we become experts at working late to prove dedication, hiding struggles behind confidence, judging ourselves and others for small mistakes, feeling like frauds even when we succeed. And here's the irony, the men most committed to their families, their work, their teams, are often the ones most trapped by perfectionism because they care, and caring makes the stakes feel higher. But here's the cost, you can't be close to people when you're hiding your flaws. Intimacy requires vulnerability, and perfectionism says hide, perform, survive. So you end up isolated, surrounded by people, but emotionally alone. What's the hidden cost of perfectionism? This isn't just stress, it's soul crushing. You got burnout and anxiety. Studies show perfectionists have high rates of anxiety, depression, and chronic stress. Why? Because the bar keeps moving. There's no finish line. Procrastination. Yes, really. The fear of failing equals avoidance. You delay starting because you won't do it perfectly. So nothing gets done and you judge yourself. This one was very strong for me. Fatherhood under pressure. I have to be the perfect dad. Leads to rigidity, anger, or emotional absence. Kids don't need perfect parents. They need present ones. Relationship damage. You criticize your partner for small things, not because you're cruel, but because you're terrified of mess. Or you withdraw when conflict arises because you can't handle it. Imperfect communication. Self-punishment. You miss a workout, I'm lazy. You lose your temper, I'm a bad man. No grace, no repair, just judgment. The key insight from this, perfectionism doesn't protect you. It disconnects you from yourself, from your family, and from your team. And the cruelest lie, once I get this right, I'll finally relax. But you never do, because the goalposts move. So what is the good side of perfectionism? Why we fight so hard? And before we go further, let's honor the fire. Because here's what's actually beautiful about this impulse. You care deeply. You're not lazy. You're not checked out. You want your work, your parenting, your body to reflect efforts, pride, craftsmanship. You refuse mediocrity. In a world of shortcuts and fakes, you want to build something real, that's rare, that's valuable. You lead by example. You show up early, you finish strong, you don't cut corners. People notice, they respect it. You're trying to protect something, maybe your family's future, maybe your reputation, maybe your own sense of worth in a chaotic world. All of that, that's not pathology, that's heart. But here where it turns toxic, when I want this to be great becomes, if this isn't flawless, I've failed. When pride in your work becomes self-loathing over small mistakes. When leading by example becomes controlling others because they don't meet your standard, that's when the fire becomes a prison. So your goal isn't to kill the fire, it's to stop worshipping it, to stop tending it. Because real strength isn't doing everything right. Real strength is owning your shit and still showing up. A perfect leader collapses under pressure. A mature leader says, I messed up. Here's what I learned. Let's move forward. That's not weakness. That is leadership. So let's go a little bit deeper. Most perfectionists weren't spoiled or entitled. They were kids who learned, if I'm good enough, maybe I'll be loved. The common roots are parental conditioning of love. I'm proud of you when you win. Emotional neglect. Don't cry, toughen up. High pressure environments, sports, academics, military families. Trauma and instability. Perfection as control in chaos. That was survival. But underneath that wound is that holy hunger. I want my life to count. I want to leave something behind. I want to be proud of who I am, not what I do. And that's not ego, that is soul. And the most dangerous thing we can do is throw out the gift because we're ashamed of the wound. So here's the reframe. You don't need to stop caring. You don't need to stop punishing yourself for being human. Your drive isn't the problem. The belief that you must be flawless to be worthy, that's the problem. Let the drive remain and release the shame. So how to let go? So here's some practical steps for men. So let's make it actionable. The first step, you need to thank the perfectionist in you, saying it out loud. Thank you for trying to protect me. Thank you for caring so much. I see you. I don't need you to run the show anymore, but I honor your intent. This is integration. It may feel weird, it may feel uncomfortable, but it's an important step. Step 2, ask, is this about quality or control? Before obsessing over details, pause and ask, does this actually improve the outcome? Am I doing this for love of the work or fear of judgment? Would good enough still serve the mission? If yes, ship it, move it, get it done. Step 3, practice good enough. Start small, intentionally. Do something well, but not perfectly. Submit a report with one typo. Let the lawn grow an extra day. Say, I don't know, in a meeting. Apologize without excuses. I was wrong, I'll do better. Do a sport that you're not good at and lose. Watch what happens. Nothing catastrophic, but something shifts inside. Step 4, channel the energy into legacy, not approval. So shift from, I have to be perfect so people respect me, to, I care deeply, so I'll build something that lasts. Examples, mentor a younger guy instead of editing slides for 8 hours. Share a mistake as a lesson. Here's what I learned. Build systems, teams, traditions, things that outlive your personal performance. That's real impact, and that is leadership. Step 5, protect the fire, not the facade. Post this way, you'll see it. I will not sacrifice my peace, my presence, or my people to prove I'm good enough. My worth isn't earned, it's inherent. And my fire, I'll use it to light the way, not burn myself out. So here's my closing thoughts on perfectionism. Boys try to be perfect to survive. Men learn they're already enough, and that frees them from serve. You don't need to be flawless to be loved. You don't have to earn your place. You don't have to hide your cracks. In fact, that's where the light gets in. So keep caring, keep building, keep leading, but do it from a place of freedom, not fear. Because the world doesn't need more perfect men, it needs real ones. Men who are strong enough to be human, driven enough to make a difference, and humble enough to say, I did my best, it's enough. That's not weakness, that's mastery. If this is home, share it with a man who's tired of carrying the weight of perfectionism. Tag someone who needs to hear, you don't have to be perfect to be loved. Thank you for listening, guys. You can follow me on workingonit.men's podcast on Instagram. Send me an email at info@letsgetlostbarley.com. This is Anthony. You're working on it. Keep showing up, not perfect. Be proud, present, and free.